What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest extended XT version 3.5 official build based on Android 13. And this is one ROM that I gotta say I feel totally confident about. And I have been daily driving on this ROM. I have experienced it as far as I could, and I switched to this ROM from the Rise Droid ROM. And afterwards I have to say that my experience overall with this extended XT ROM is much better in terms of performance. The daily driving experience on this has been amazingly well, and I definitely feel again super confident with the performance of this ROM, totally in the animations and stuff, and while doing normal tasks is like it's much more fluid experience. This is a 14th December 2022 build, by the way, and the most important thing is the file size. This ROM comes with GApps and comes with the MIUI camera and stuff, and even with all of that, this ROM comes within 1.5 GB, less than 1.5 GB actually. All of the ROMs which comes with MIUI camera is about 2 GB, but this one comes below 1.5 GB. It's very light, I would say, and even the performance feels like that, and everywhere while opening apps and stuff, it's a very fluid experience. Just notice how fast it opens, and the scrolling and stuff, it's perfectly smooth in my opinion. As you can see in Twitter, the scrolling is amazingly fast. Talking about the about section, this is how it looks like. It does this kind of animation on the top. It has this extended icon, and this extended ROMs or MSM extended ROMs has been one of my favorites when it was Android 11 days. But here in Android 13, it is kicking back all those things. And here we have this extended version as XT version 3.5 again. The maintainer is Suresh, so huge thanks to the developers of this ROM, and this is an amazing experience in my opinion. If you want to try this ROM or flash this ROM on your device, of course the flashing guides will be present in the description. Now the security patch here is again of November 5th 2022, not quite December yet. And we have the build date here again shows as 13th or 14th December. Here we have the stock kernel as the 4.14 Pikachu kernel. In the system panel, this is how it looks like. We got a sweet parts where you will get the device specific things like the 120 Hz and stuff. I have left this to 120, and overall with that the display is running at 120 Hz all day long, and with that the animations and stuff is very fluid again. And as you can see with the test UFO website, it is running at 120 FPS, no issues whatsoever with 120 Hz running on this particular ROM. We have this refresh rate profiles. You can set per app to 60 Hz, 90 Hz or even 120 Hz. The de-theming options are there, and we also got a thermal profiles, and from here you can set per app to benchmark, browser, camera, dialer, gaming, navigation, streaming and video options. In the MIUI sound enhancer, we have this youth edition and stuff. There are plethora of presets as you can see, and I have been using it with the youth edition. But let me tell you, the sound quality via the headphone jack, the Bluetooth and the speakers and even the earpiece has been very good. No issues whatsoever that I have faced. We got also the sound presets where you get the bass booster, bass reduction, etc. And we have this scenario option. There we have the smart music, video, voice, etc. options. And we have this hi-fi audio option too if you want to enable that. Then we got a clear speaker option too. If you want to use that, you can. In the system updater, we can check for updates from right here. That's pretty much it about the system settings. There is no navigation kind of settings. Those are there in the customizations, which I'll show you later on. But first, let me show you the home screen. This is how it looks like. And I have been using a wallpaper over here. And the widgets that I have added are working fine. As you can see, all these widgets, the animations and stuff, everywhere is perfectly smooth. But let me show you the battery widget. I've tried to add it multiple times, but it keeps on loading or it just shows the phone's battery. That's it. This is how the battery widget is. So the battery widget is not working, I would say. That's why I did not add it on my home screen. To the left of the home screen, we got a Google's Discover page. And yeah, the scrolling again is perfectly smooth, no issues. In terms of the home screen settings, we got this extended home options. If you're noticing, if you tap here, you will get the customization for the launcher. And in here, in the icon options, we got the icon pack option. Here we have the notification dots, and you can enable or disable it. We have the icon size, the font size, and the max lines for app level option. In the home screen layout, we have the lock layout, add app icons to the home screen. Double tap to sleep anywhere in the home screen in the blank area is there. Wallpaper scrolling, zooming, and we have the swipe to access Google app. And we have the status bar and the top shadow and stuff, everything you can enable or disable. The hot seat background also you can enable. Then we have the themed icons for the home screen, Google search bar, etc. and the corner radius you can customize. Then we have the app drawer customization. We can enable the themed icons for the app drawer icons as well. We have the icon labels in drawer, row height and the background opacity you can customize. Then we go into the recent options, screenshot and lens option. But if I enable it, as you can see, this is how it looks. It looks too much crowded, I would say, if you're noticing on the bottom. That's why I did not enable these ones. But without that, they look perfect. We have the lock app icon, then we have the clear all, and we have clear one particular app at the time. And here we have the split top and stuff. You can enable it over here if you want in the recents. And we have the background opacity for the recents panel too. Then in the misc option, we have the action toast. In the allow home screen rotation, use taskbar, and the suggestions you can disable as well. The Xtended launcher is great in my opinion. And again, double tap to sleep anywhere in the home screen is working perfectly fine. And here if I show you the fingerprint scanner speed, if I just tap the fingerprint scanner, just notice how fast it unlocks. So yeah, overall no issues whatsoever with the fingerprint scanner. It unlocks perfectly fine. But here let me show you, swiping up will get you to the app drawer. You can search for any particular app over here if you want, and swiping down anywhere in the home screen will get you to the quick setting panel. This is how it looks like. You can edit and add multiple toggles over here that you are willing to. But here let me show you what toggles that I have added, and I have the Wi-Fi toggle, the mobile data, the Bluetooth toggle, and of course the Bluetooth battery shows up on the quick setting panel, even as in the status bar it shows up. Here we have the flashlight, the dark theme, auto rotate, night light always on display, and you can toggle it on or off from here. Then we have the hotspot, the screen recording as well, and here we have the device audio and microphone audio recording at the same time. The battery saver, do not disturb, Google Home controls, nearby share, data saver, etc. And here we have the power menu kind of things, like you can directly reboot to the recovery or fast boot from right here. As you can see, if you just tap and hold on it, if it says recovery, if you tap and hold on it, it will boot into the recovery mode. We have the sound toggle, we have the one-handed mode. The ambient display is kind of buggy, I'll talk about that. But we also have the Dolby Atmos if you want to enable it, and you can customize this presets. There is the movie, music, custom, etc. options, and you can use it if you want. The Dolby Atmos is there. I don't see the FPS info over here. I could not find that particular toggle, or the refresh rate toggle I could not simply find over here. And of course on the bottom we have this kind of thing like running services and stuff. You can see what services it's running and how much memory it's using. So yeah, that's cool. And next to that we have the settings button, and we have the power menu just like this. And if you tap on advanced again, you can directly reboot to the recovery or fast boot from right here. Now let's talk about the stock camera. Well, this is where this ROM shines, I would say, and I have customized it a bit. So if I swipe up, it will go into this kind of mode options like 61 megapixel, vlog mode, slow motion, etc. And yes, all these options are working. Let me actually show you. You can put it to 720p, 960 fps, and yeah, this is actually working if you're noticing. So slow motion and stuff, everything is working right now, including with the 64 megapixel mode. I have tested that. I'll show you a photo with that. I have clicked in daylight. But yeah, other than that, everything else should be working perfectly fine, including with the dual video and stuff. Everything is working perfectly fine. Let me show you the other options, like the 2x zooming option is working fine, and the normal, of course, the main sensor is working fine, and the ultra wide angle lens is also working great. Even the super macro, if you want to look at here, as you can see, the super macro is working perfectly fine here. Now in terms of videos, you can shoot up to 4K 30 fps over here. Even in pro mode, you can shoot videos up to 4K 30 fps. You can control the white balance, the focus, shutter speed, ISO, and the EV, and even the lens you can customize. The portrait mode and stuff, everything is working. I have tested that. Now let me show you this photo which I have taken. By the way, while opening a photo, this is what I do not like in this ROM. Like, it's every time shows that to open with the stock gallery app. I don't know why it happens, but yeah, even if I switch to this gallery, if I try to open it later on, it will again show that particular menu. But here in the info settings, it shows that it's a 64 megapixel photo. And if I try to zoom it in, this is the sun spot. That's why the picture looks a little bit darker. But yeah, overall, the quality of it, just notice how much I can zoom it in. Overall, again, the quality is amazing with the 64 megapixel mode. And this is a portrait photo that I clicked, and the details are pretty great, I would say. And just notice the colors are really popping out, and the background is completely blurred. So yeah, the portrait mode pictures are working fine with the front camera and rear camera both. You should not worry about it. And yes, the selfies are perfectly fine. As you can see, 16 megapixel selfie. Also with the rear camera, it shoots 16 megapixel photos right out of the box. So in terms of camera, this ROM really kicks it in, and the camera experience is overall very fast. It's not like that Rise Droid ROM where I mentioned the camera just lags and you don't feel confident at all while even taking a photo. But here that's not the case. Everything is perfectly fast and smooth. You can just take a photo normally and it will take the photo. You will know the photo which you took is really good quality. Now also you are getting a line US kind of camera, and with that, this is how it looks, as you can see. And we have even more options with that. We have the video options and stuff. So you are getting two cameras right out of the box. Also, I have installed a Gcam. This is the Xiaomi version of the Gcam. There is a macro lens and stuff. You can definitely enable it. And with that, as you can see, it is working perfectly fine. And the links for this will be present in the description. You should not worry about it. Before I talk about the customizations, let me tell you, this ROM has different dialers, contact apps and stuff. Like, this is the contact app for this ROM, but this is a Google contact. Even there is this normal Android's messaging app over here, and even there is a dialer where you can actually record calls. This is the dialer which is present by default on this ROM, but of course I have been using Google dialer because the default dialer, even though it has call recording option, the call recording's quality is not that good. Sometimes it records, sometimes it doesn't. That's why I have left using it. But yeah, this ROM has a dialer where it supports call recording. If you want to use it for some reason, you definitely can to actually grab some of the recording. But yeah, most of the time I have seen the call recording comes out to be silent, but sometimes it glitches out the audio and stuff in the recording. But yeah, normally for calling and stuff, the VoLTE calling is working perfectly fine with that dialer too. Now let's talk customizations. Well, the customizations are there in the extensions, and here you will get amazing amount of customizations. If you want to skip this part because it's gonna be long, you can skip it with the timestamps from the bottom. First of all, we have this ambient decor. Here we have the music ticker, the edge lighting, show always and stuff for the edge lighting, and even the color you can actually set to notification based and stuff. So all these options are there, and we have even the ambient AOD customization. So that's great. We have all these settings over here. Let me go back. We have the animations, and here we can change the animation, the screen of animation to CRT or scale, the power menu animation to these many options, and we have the animation style, then we have the animation duration, and we also have the tiles animation interpolator. Let me go back. We have the buttons here. We have the show volume panel on the left side, music control, reorient, volume rock or wake and stuff. Then we got the gestures, and in here in the system navigation gestures, we have this power button and calls. In the press and hold power button, we have this hold for assistant. Then we have the prevent ringing and the one-handed mode and stuff. Everything is working fine. You should not worry about it. Then we have the swipe to screenshot. Then the brightness control, sliding a finger on the status bar will control the brightness. And again, for the swipe to screenshot, we got the share, edit, delete options. No issues with that. Here we have the press and hold power button for the toggle flashlight option, and long press, I have selected that. And we have this automatically turn on torch, lock screen and status bar, double tap to sleep is there. And in the lock screen, we have the lock screen shortcuts, the lock screen charging info, disable ripple effect options, and the hide bottom shortcuts. Then we have the lock screen font style. You can actually change the font style of the lock screen. I have tried that, it was glitching out a bit, I would say. So that's why I didn't bother with it. We have this lock screen notification count, then the media cover art, etc. customization. In the navigations, we have the system navigation gestures. And in here, you have the swipe to invoke assistant, the advanced or extended swipe actions. You can actually customize between these many options. Let me go back. We have the left edge, right edge options, and we have the pill length customization. There is no pill bar thickness customization, but yeah, the length you can customize, and this is the fullest you can see. The haptic feedback you can customize from here too. Let me go back. We have the 2-button, 3-button navigations, and the hide IME button space option. In the notifications, we have the heads up. You can customize it or disable it if you want. Then we have the show notification count, the kill app button, 2-step icon, and the notification panel count and stuff. Then we have the breathing SMS, the breathing missed calls, and the voicemail. To the power menu, here we have the hide on lock screen. You can hide the power menu on lock screen for security, and we have this advanced reboot options. In the quick setting panel, we have this tiles layout. You can customize the column, row, and the other stuff. The vertical layout option is also there. The brightness slider position, you can change it to top or bottom. Then we have the show brightness slider in quick setting panel. Then we have the show auto brightness button, and the background opacity and stuff is there. Then if you scroll down more, we have the user account, then the quick setting footer text, etc. options. In the status bar, we have the clock and date customization. You can change the date format and stuff if you want from right here, and even the fonts you can customize over here. Now we also have the traffic indicators. You can enable it, but I use a separate app for that. The battery customization is there. I have been using it with the icon landscape R, but you can use it with other icons too. Then we have the battery percentage. We have the inside option and the right left of the icon. Then we have the quick setting battery style. You can choose it to follow the status bar battery style. And we have the battery bar customization too. The status bar logo options are there. You can enable an extended logo and stuff, or even the custom logos you can enable if you want. In the system icons, we have the headset, Bluetooth, etc. kind of icons you can enable or disable. The Vio Wi-Fi icon is there. And we have the hide call strength. Then we have the old mobile type icons and stuff. So all these things you can customize right here. In theme room, we have this dark theme customization, and in here we can actually change the theme color to pitch black or extended clear system and stuff. All these options are there, but of course I have been using with the pitch black for the dark AMOLED kind of black. In the Monet theme engine, we have the custom color picker and stuff. You can use it. Let me go to the Wi-Fi icons. These are the icons you will get. You can definitely change it to other icons too. I have been using it with the bars. This is how it looks like with the bars option, and even the signal icons, we have these many options. and we have the font styles. You can change the font style to whichever you want. But for some reason, I would say in this ROM, I did not find the nothing fonts. We have this Nokia Pure, then we have this Noto Sheriff, Nunicho. There is no nothing font over here for some reason. Icon shapes right here. These are the icon shapes which are present by default. In the extras, we have the game space, and you can add any game that you want, and you can customize this game space if you want. Unlock higher FPS in games, sensor block per package. We have this burn-in protection as well. Then we have the charging animation, ignore secured flags. Even the status bar padding and the left-right padding for the status bar, you can actually customize from right here. So that's about it about the customizations. In the battery settings, this is how it looks. Now here we have the battery temperature, but again, there is no battery charging cycle. The current battery capacity, design battery capacity, those things does not show up yet. Maybe it will be added in the future updates, but not right now. Here we have the battery charge warning and the battery optimization. You can set per app battery optimization from here. Now let's talk about the battery life. I have been using it with the Accu battery app, and with that I have got about 7 hours plus of screen on time, which is not too much, but in my opinion it is much better than the Rise Droid ROM, I have to say, because I switched from that ROM and I have to say the battery life here is much better. Even though it shows 7 hours, I know that the battery life over here is good enough. In the health section, it actually shows my battery health is at 82%, which is not that great. But yeah, overall in terms of my experience, I would say the battery life has been good enough over here. It's definitely daily drivable. The screen off, you can see that is the standby time, you can say. Now in terms of fast charging, yes, the fast charging is working perfectly fine. You should not worry about fast charging on this ROM. And the charging animation I definitely like over here. In terms of the sound and vibration, this is how it looks like. By the way, volume panel looks like this. You can switch the output device from right here, and you can expand the volume panel just like this. If you scroll down, we have the vibration and haptics. Then we have the dial pad tones, the screen locking sound, charging, vibration, etc. options. And again, the Mi Audio Direct is present in the Xiaomi parts or suite parts. In the display settings, we have the brightness level, the adaptive or auto brightness. In the live display, we have this color calibration, and the RGB control is there. Then if you scroll down more, we have the lock screen customization. Here we have these always show time and info and stuff. And in the advanced settings, I cannot really go here. This is weird that the ambient display customizations are not there. So the pickup and stuff, the pickup gesture, I mean, is not really working over here. I have tried to go into that, but it doesn't work. We have the screen timeout and the lock screen timeout both. Then we have the display size and text customization. You can enable the high contrast text if you want. Then we have the bold text, and if you scroll down more, we have the double tap to wake, prevent accidental wake up. High touch polling rate is there, but sometimes I have noticed even if I enable this one, it like gets disabled automatically. I don't know why, but yeah, the option is there. In the wallpapers and styles, this is how it looks. You can change the wallpapers from here, the dark theme and the themed icons you can enable from here. And in the app grid, we have up to 6x10, but I have been using it with a 5x5. In terms of security, in the settings, we get the quick unlock, the scramble, pin layout and stuff. And in terms of the face unlock and fingerprint, I have added the fingerprint, but let me just set up the face unlock too. So just completed the setup of the face unlock, and here we have this when swiping on lock screen option. In the more settings, we also get the app lock, and here let me actually show you. In the protected apps, there are the apps that you can lock or unlock, and here there is the Google Photos and stuff if you want to enable it, and we have this redact notification, hide from launcher, etc. options. Let me go back. We have this auto lock timeout too. So right now let me show you this unlocking and locking kind of things. Let me just double tap over here so that the device gets locked, and here if I double tap to wake, that too is working fine. And if I swipe up, it's using the face unlock, and as you can see, it has unlocked. Let me try one more time. It unlocks very fast with the face unlock, and once you are using the face unlock, there is that black border on the front camera if you're noticing. So it will help for video calls or something. There will not be any halo effects while you are doing a video call. And talking about the app lock, this is how it looks, and you can tap the fingerprint scanner and it will unlock and go into where you left this particular app. So yeah, AppLock is working perfectly fine. And again, talking about the fingerprint scanner speed, it's blazing fast. I haven't had any issues. And even if I enable the always on display so that I can show you, this is how the always on display will look. It has this Google Sans kind of font, looks beautiful. It's really thin once you are in the always on display, but in the lock screen, it becomes a little bit thicker. And here, if I tap the fingerprint scanner, this is how the animation looks. And again, the fingerprint scanner speed, I do not have any complaints with. Now let's talk about the basic things. Yes, Safetynet passes right out of the box over here. It's not a problem. Also, the IR Blaster is working perfectly fine. If you're noticing that light, that simply means IR Blaster is working. Also, the DRM info stays as L1 here, so you can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos in 1080p. And in terms of Google Photos, yes, it supports the unlimited Google Photos backup, so you should not be worrying about it. The Google Photos unlimited backup is here. So in terms of overall performance, I do not have any complaints. Overall, like while opening or switching apps, I did not see any issues whatsoever. It switches the apps and opens the apps really fast and smoothly. Even the Twitter scrolling is perfectly fine. 120Hz is working great. In terms of performance, again, this is a beast. I feel really confident while using this ROM. So I will really drive this ROM as of right now. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the extended ROM based on Android 13 on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And here are the Android 10 Geekbench score with a CPU stress test on this particular build to give you an idea about the whole UI's performance. So in terms of conclusions, I would say this ROM gets you really great performance all over the UI, buttery smooth experience. The scrolling is perfectly fine. You are getting a MIUI camera right out of the box, which is working perfectly, including with the 64 megapixel mode. You are getting good enough battery life. You're getting amazing amount of customizations. This ROM is a no-brainer and you should definitely try it if you want to try Android 13 on your Redmi Note 10 Pro. With this amount of features and experiences, I would say this is one of my favorite ROMs already and I will be daily driving on this ROM. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, share this video with your friends if you feel like. This is Tito from KDN Tech signing off for today and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.